Hi, this is Alex from Groovy Entertainment. Today we're gonna record play for you. Today, record Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So let's get started.
That you gave me to do.
Let me see. This is shockingly bad work. I don't think I'll ever be able to get you to do anything good at all. When I married the king, your father, I didn't know I would have such a horrible child as you on my hands. Just look at this handkerchief you're supposed to be embroidering. The stitches are long and clumsy.
I really did try to do my best, Mother.
Try to do your best? Nonsense. You're just a lazy good-for-nothing. And you're going to be punished.
No.
You'll spend a week in your room. You won't be allowed to go out. And you'll have nothing to eat but dry bread and water.
Yet Snow White was a lovely, good-natured girl. She had rosy cheeks and a beautiful, fair complexion. That was why her mother christened her Snow White. The woman who was so nasty to her wasn't her real mother. She was her stepmother, whom the king had married when his first wife died. The new queen was very beautiful. She was tall and she had a very noble bearing, but her eyes were cold and cruel. She made life almost unbearable for poor Snow White. She was always punishing her and making her spend long hours doing embroidery. Yet she was never satisfied with anything that poor Snow White did.
Dear little bird, what a lovely song that is. You sound very happy. But of course you are happy. You can go wherever you like. But I can't. My stepmother has told me I must stay in this room for a week. How I envy your freedom, little bird. I wish I had wings like you and could fly out of the window and onto that tree. Sing, little bird. Sing for me, but I am so unhappy.
Nobody knew Snow White's stepmother was a witch. Not even the king knew. How could he imagine that his beautiful wife was a witch? Witches are beautiful sometimes. queen had a magic mirror, and she often used to talk to it and ask it questions.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Your Majesty, you are very beautiful, but Snow White is still more beautiful.
What? Snow White? That little wretch?
That little wretch will grow up, Your Majesty.
She will never grow up.
The queen had a servant who was treacherous and cruel. She ordered him to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. But in spite of his cruelty, the servant couldn't bring himself to kill Snow White. When the moment came, he left her all alone in the forest and went away. He killed a young deer, cut out the deer's heart, and took it to the queen.
Your Majesty.
Well, did you do what I wanted you to?
Yes, Your Majesty, I did. Snow White is dead, and I brought back her heart as proof.
Very well. Here's a purse full of gold for you. But remember, you must never say a word of this to anybody. If ever you should say anything, it will be the worse for you.
Yes, Your Majesty.
That horrible man didn't kill me after all. But it would have been better if he had killed me. But it looks as though I'm going to die of hunger.
Snow White.
Who called me?
I did.
You, Stag? How handsome you are.
I'm king of the animals in this forest.
I'm the daughter of the king of this country.
I know you are. And I even know why you are right in the middle of this huge forest where men scarcely ever come. Poor Snow White. You must have been very frightened.
Oh, yes, I was. But now that you are here, I feel much better.
You are a dear child. But I really ought to bear you a grudge.
Why ought you to bear me a grudge?
You know, Her Majesty's servant killed the most beautiful of my daughters, the red deer.
Why did he do that? And what has it got to do with me?
The servant killed the red deer so that he could take her heart back to the queen and pretend that it was your heart.
I didn't know that the servant killed a deer in my place. If I had known he was going to do that, I would never have gone away.
I know you wouldn't. It seems as if you are my daughter now, and so I mustn't bear you any resentment. But you must be hungry and tired. Come with me. Here we are.
What a lovely little house. I've never seen anything so beautiful. It looks so sweet at the edge of this little clearing. But why is it so small?
It's the house of the 7 little dwarfs. They're very skilled gardeners, and on the outside of their house it looks very nice. But just go inside, then you'll see what a terrible mess it's in.
Oh, the stag was right. There's dust everywhere, and everything's topsy-turvy.
I thought you might be able to do something useful here. Those poor dwarfs don't know anything about running a house. I suppose you do know something about how to tidy up and dust and wash?
Tidy up and dust and wash. Of course I do. My stepmother made me do all those things in the palace, so I know all about it.
If you open that sideboard, you'll find everything you need to make meals. The dwarfs are very good eaters. Take my advice. Tidy up the place and make it shine like a new pin. When the dwarves come back, they'll be so glad to see everything tidy that they'll ask you to stay with them.
Oh, I do hope they do. I'm sure I'd like it here.
That's the end of a day's work. I'm stiff with planting all those trees. After supper, one of you can rub me back with fairy ointment. Not me. Not me either. Look, your beard's full of pine needles. That's not all. You haven't seen yourself. There's mud on your face and a big tear on your sleeve. What's that? I cut my finger when I was scything the grass. I'll have a job to do the washing up now. Washing up? Washing up a lot you care about washing up. You haven't touched it for the last week, and there's not a clean plate in the house. Oh, well. Look here. You must start on the washing up as soon as you get back to the house. Yeah, well, look. Cut finger or no cut finger. Yeah, that's not fair. In any case, from today onward, it's not my turn to do the washing up. This week it's been my turn to do the sweeping. That's not fair either. You've left all the washing up for me to do. It's not fair, I tell you. It's not fair. Enough. You'll do exactly as I tell you to. Now be quiet there, everybody. We are going back now. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Everything's beautiful. Tiny. Who on earth could have been here while we were away? Look. There are 8 places set at the table. That's funny. There are only 7 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. I've got an idea. Perhaps it's one of our distant relatives who's come to pay us a surprise visit. No, don't be silly. There's nobody in our family who knows to look after a house, so there's no use you thinking it's one of our relatives who's been here. I don't care who's been tidying up. All that matters to me is that all the washing up's been done so that I won't have to do it myself.
Snow White's sudden appearance frightened the dwarfs out of their wits. They weren't very courageous people, we must admit. The leader of the dwarfs hid under the table. One of the other dwarfs disappeared inside the bread bin. Another rushed into the grandfather clock. And all the others hid themselves in the cupboard. All except the one that had cut his finger, that is. He just stood in the middle of the room, rolling his eyes from fright.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
What makes you think you frightened us? Frightened us? You're just a little girl. Come on, the rest of you.
What are you waiting for?
Well, we ought to explain that we have got a nasty ogre that lives near us. We don't get along with him very well.
Marina, no need to tell our guest all the details of our private lives.
Oh, yes.
What's your name, and where do you come from?
My name is Snow White, and I've just had to leave my father's palace. I'll never be able to return again. I'm just a lost child now, you see.
Oh, little girl. Well, if that's the case, you can stay with us. Apparently you prepared dinner, so come and sit down at the table with us.
They got on together wonderfully. Snow White looked after the house and did all the cooking. The dwarfs looked after Snow White and spoiled her just as if she'd been their own daughter. It was all too good to last. One day, the wicked queen suddenly thought of talking to her mirror again.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
Your Majesty, Snow White is the most beautiful.
Snow White? But she's been dead for a long time now.
She is not dead, Your Majesty. She is living with the 7 dwarfs in the forest.
What?
You see, your wickedness does not always triumph.
Be quiet. I'm only asking you questions. I'm not asking for your opinions.
Very well, Your Majesty.
The queen was almost mad with anger. She took one of her secret poisons and put it in an apple. Then she put the poisoned apple into a basket with other fruit, and dressing up like an old woman, she got onto her witch's broom and went over to where Snow White was living. When she arrived, Snow White was putting some flowers into a vase.
Good morning.
Good morning.
May I come in for a moment? I've travelled rather far and I'm very thirsty.
Oh, please, come in. Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Here's a drink of black currant juice for you.
Thank you very much. One good turn deserves another. You've given me something to drink, so I'm going to give you something to eat.
Thank you.
Here, take this lovely red apple.
Oh, that is kind of you. What a lovely apple. It's a little bitter, though. Oh, my head is spinning. What is happening? Help!
Don't be silly. Nothing's happened to her. You're always worried about nothing. Let's go inside.
What did I tell you? Look at her.
Oh, White. But why is she stretched out on the ground like that?
There's an apple beside her. Look, it's all black. The sun
something wrong here. Snow White's been eating this apple. Look, you can see. She's taken a bite out of it. Oh, somebody has poisoned her. Here's Snow White. Somebody poisoned her.
It must have been the wicked queen.
Yes, we should have been more careful. You should always have left somebody at the house to look after. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but ever since Snow White has been in her crystal coffin that we made for her, there's been no change in her face. She's still as fair and as beautiful as ever. She just looks as if she's sleeping. Yes, that's true. She is as beautiful as ever.
It's amazing, but she's lying so still. She can't be sleeping. I don't see her breathing. Perhaps she's in a very, very deep sleep. Perhaps she'll wake up someday. You never know.
One afternoon, a prince was riding on his white horse through the forest. In a clearing, he came across the dwarf's little house. He dismounted from his horse and went and knocked at the door. There was no reply, so he went in. In the middle of the main room, he saw Snow White lying in her crystal coffin. He went up to her and kissed her cheek, gently. Snow White, Snow White,
Oh, what a wonderful sleep that was.
Snow White, Snow White, Snow White.
My handsome prince.
Snow White has come to life again. She's in the arms of a young man. Amazing.
May I ask what you're doing here, my young man? What makes you think you have the right to kiss our daughter? Yes.
Come now, there's no need to be angry. Let me introduce you to the prince who has just wakened me from my sleep. We love each other very much, and he has asked me to marry him.
Well, that's different. Did you say you were going to marry him?
Yes, I did.
I knew that one day Snow White would wake up from a long sleep again.
Oh, you know everything. You know everything. So, you're going to leave us then?
Don't worry. I will come back and see you as often as I can. Oh, don't make it so difficult for me to go. I've never been so happy in all my life.
Oh, I'm sorry. We really do want you to be happy. We're just a lot of selfish little men.
Yes, what
But who's going to do all the washing up now that you're leaving us? I hate washing up. No, you stop worrying about the washing up. Well, we'll start getting ready for your wedding right away.
And I know that you'll be the nicest, and the best, and the handsomest.
Not now.
So that was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a groovy day with another video coming out real soon.